Thank you. Good evening. Welcome to Accessing SFUSD Technology Apps for Distance Learning. I'm Steve Kiesel. I'm one of your facilitators today. Let me introduce the others. I will ask them to turn on their cameras for just a minute.
Hello, excuse me. Hello, everyone. My name is Tiana Walker, and I am the head counselor and dean of students at Balboa High School, and I am the other co-facilitator this evening.
Good evening. My name is Eugenio Diaz. I am a Spanish interpreter with the San Francisco Unified School District. Thank you.
Very good, thanks. During today's session, you will be, by the time we're done, you will be able to list the essential SFUSD technology apps for distance learning. You'll be able to describe the purpose of each app and list its key features. And you'll also know how to access each app once you have left us. So what are the essential technology apps for distance learning? Well, we're going to look at 5 today. The first one is called ParentVUE, and ParentVUE is super important for accessing all the other apps and for staying up to date with information. We'll talk about that. Then we'll talk about Clever, which especially if you have students in elementary, they're probably using that every day. We'll talk about Seesaw, which is another great app that's mostly used in elementary as a learning management system. Then we'll talk about Google Suite or G Suite for education, which is used in grades 3 and up mostly. And the app that everybody uses, just about everybody, called Zoom. So let's start with ParentVUE or the family portal. I'm going to turn off my camera and stop sharing my screen so that Tiana can share and take it from there.
Okay, sounds good. And so I'm just connecting. Okay, here we are. And so, yeah, so ParentVUE, it is the software that we use to host all of the information for students. And so for ParentVUE, the teachers have access to it. From our end, we actually call it Synergy. And so this is where all of the grades go. This is where all of the demographic information is stored for all of the students. And it is also a means to which parents can email their teachers, and also where teachers can email the parents and the students. And so it is really important for the parents to be connected to ParentVUE. And so in getting connected, basically parents would just go to, they would receive an activation letter, and then they would just go online and connect everything. And so, you know, again, this slide actually shows listed everything that that can be done on ParentVUE. And so parents can connect their own personal email addresses, as well as have their phone numbers in there and update their phone numbers. And you know what parents really do is they're able to view the assignments, whether or not it's classwork or homework. They're able to see grades and receive messages, and as well as especially for the elementary school, they are able to get login information and Clever badges, and also to request a Chromebook or a hotspot if needed. And so ParentVUE is really another main hub of resource connection for the parents. And so on ParentVUE, parents are able to connect with the school district and with the teachers, and also they're able to get notifications directly to their phone or to their iPad, and also, of course, in the computer. And also they are able to see the school calendar of all of their prospective students that they do have in SFUSD. And another really cool thing about ParentVUE is that on ParentVUE there is access to reports. Like, for example, you'll be able to see all the grades. You'll be able to see your attendance for your children, or just for your one child that you have in SFUSD, and also you'll be able to see other things like state tests and so on and so forth. And so let's just take a look on how to go there.
And
so,
Tiana, actually, before you show folks how to access their ParentVUE, I should mention, if your student goes to elementary school or even some middle schools, they may not be, the teachers may not be using ParentVUE for grades. So just so you know, if you can see everything else but just not the grade information, it may just be because that's how your student's teacher is not using ParentVUE at the time. Thanks.
Exactly. But if they are, then how to access this is as follows. And so, like I mentioned very quickly, the first step is to get an activation code from the school. This is something that was mailed out to you. Excuse me. So this is something that was mailed out previously. And so if you do not have that information, then you can go and contact your student's teacher. You can contact the school secretary, and you can also contact the Student and Family Resource Link. And we are going to show you where to find that in just a moment. And so, and also just some background on this activation key. It does last 3 years. And so if it is really important, because it is crucial that we identify who you are as the educational rights holder, because the school can only communicate with educational rights holders in regards to, the grades and the attendance and whatnot of the students. And so we do have to identify the identity before we are able to activate this information. And so your identification, of course, was already activated when you enrolled your child into SFUSD, and that is represented by this activation key form. So if if you have the letter, that's great. We can use that and go and activate it. If not, then just call your child's teacher, school secretary, or the Student and Information Resource Link, and then we will be able to help you out. And in getting the actual ParentVUE, you can do it one of two ways. You can go to portal.sfusd.edu, which is listed right over here. Or if you have the slide deck, you can just click on this link, and then it will go over to the portal. And then you are going to click on ParentVUE, and then just follow the prompts right over there. It's going to ask for your email address, and so your username and password, and then you can click on it. And the first time you are going to go to activate account, and then select click accept, and then go through the motions. And so that is going through it on the computer. You can also download it onto your cell phone. Whether if you have an iPhone, you can do download on an app store. If you have an Android, then you download on the Play Store, and then follow the prompts to activate. And so we just want to quickly go over how to do this activation. And so we will just quickly go through this video so that you can see how it is in real time. And I just wanted to point out really quickly that even here in this video, it gives a reference to a couple of websites for you to go to if you cannot directly go to ParentVUE if you have any questions. And so we're also just reminding everyone that it is important to use the activation code, because we do have to ensure that the school is only communicating with those who do have the educational rights to each particular student. And this is what it looks like for when you do download ParentVUE. This looks like this was probably done on an Apple. This is what it looks like when you do hit the download button. It's like a little cloud and a downward pointing arrow. And the app is called ParentVUE. And you will see that it's purple and white. And then just click the download button and you will get it. A really cool feature about ParentVUE on the phone is that you can select the preferred language. And so while you are signing in, it will ask you which language that you do prefer, and then you can scroll down and select whichever preferred language that you would like. Another great thing about having this on your cell phone or on your tablet is that you can get notifications. And so when this does pop up, this will only pop up the first time that you open it. And then just select allow right over here, and you will get the, they're called like the push notifications whenever there is an update or an email. And now the video is just showing the standard way to get the app started by selecting San Francisco Unified School District by putting in your zip code, and then also by accepting the privacy statements, and that's right over here. And then on this side, this is just where you write in your first and last name and activation key. And when you do put in your name, please make sure that you put in the name that is on the activation key letter. Because if you have, like, for example, if your name is Susan but you go by Susie, you do have to put Susan instead of Susie, just so that the computer can match you up with your own account. And then here in this next section, you are able to just create your own personal username, your personal password, and the email address that you prefer to use. And then activating on a web browser is very similar in the fact that you go through the same stages, but it just looks a little bit different. So here is where, here shows that you are selecting your preferred language. So you can select whichever one you like. And this is also just showing where to click, like how we just did earlier. Another crucial part in this is that if you ever do forget your password, when you go to log in, you can select the forgot password button, and then ParentVUE will send you an email with a temporary password so that you can go log in, change your password, and then you will be able to regain your access. And so if you have any questions about ParentVUE or any of the software programs that we are using, then you can go directly to Family Link at sfusd.edu, or excuse me, you can email directly familylink@sfusd.edu, and you will be able to get your questions answered. And for ParentVUE specifically, here is the website at sfusd.edu/ParentVUE. Okay. And so just as a reminder, all of the information that we are discussing is over at this website at portal.sfusd.edu. And you can either click on that link, or you can just type it in to the web browser at portal.sfusd.edu, and then it'll come to this page. And so for parents, we want you to sign in right over here on the left-hand side, and your students will sign in over here on the right-hand side. And then you will be connected to all of your children who are in SFUSD, and you will be able to see their grades, their attendance, and also be able to email their teachers. As well as you can open up the app. And in regards to forgetting the password, then when you do log in, you can go in and go to portal.sfusd.edu, click on ParentVUE, and then the forgot password button is right over here, right under the password entry field. And so to just kind of get yourself more familiar with ParentVUE, you can just go over to the website to explore it. You can also go to sfusd.edu and then go to families and then family portal resources. And so let's just say we typed in sfusd.edu, and then we just want to scroll through what they have. And so if you have forgotten, oh, I know I was supposed to go to sfusd.edu, but I forgot what to look for, then you can just go to resources for families. You can go to Family Digest, or most importantly, what I use all of the time is a search function. And so if you say, oh, I know I need to go to ParentVUE, but I just don't remember what the website was, then you can just go in and type it in the search function, and then it will pop up. And so you have information on ParentVUE, email notifications, on viewing assignments, and then just overall ParentVUE features and such. You'll be able to get your questions answered there. Or if you just directly just want to log into ParentVUE, then here is the family portal link right over here. And also, for more information, you can come to our next webinar. And so information on our webinars is located at sfusd.edu/family-webinars. And I just clicked on the link, but you can also always type that in the address bar. And then it has all of the information about our webinar. So this information right here is about this webinar that we are recording right now. And then you will be able to see information on other webinars as well. As you keep on scrolling, you have more and more information. And so now here is information for session 3, as we are filming session 2 right now. And so if you ever get stuck, we do have a whole lot of resources. We did mention the website, and we also quickly mentioned the Family Digest, and we also have one-on-one tutoring in 20 different languages. And to get to that information, you can just go to bit.ly/sftechtutors. And I'm just going to click on here because if and when you have the slide deck, you can just click on the links. If you don't have the links, then you can just type them into the address bar. And then once you have gone to that web address, you can read the information. It is in a few different languages. And then you can go click and sign up for an appointment. And then when you click on that link, you will get to this page that will collect your information, or it'll ask for your information, you put it in, and then you will be able to sign yourself up for an appointment. And so for more information, again, you can go to family, or you can email familylink@sfusd.edu. You can also go to familylink.sfusd.edu, and this is the website to the technology help. And so it says submit a request, and so you can submit your request there. And then you can also call 415-340-1716 and call anytime on a Wednesday, anytime on a weekday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then someone will be able to help you out. And so, do we have any questions in the chat?
There are no questions in the chat right now.
Okay, and Mr. Eugenio, do we have any questions for the Spanish?
We don't have any question from the Spanish side right now.
Okay, sounds good. And so we will just go on over to Clever.
Very good. Thank you so much, Tiana. I've just started sharing my screen. And Clever and the digital backpack are very important if your child is doing distance learning. Clever is like the container that holds your child's digital backpack. So the digital backpack is The district approved tools that have been vetted for safety and privacy. We know your child's data is protected. We know these are really high quality tools as well. We didn't just find them anywhere. We really tested them and had a lot of people test them for us. Backpacks are actually personalized based on the school and grade level of your child, and even actually on the teacher. The teacher may have some tools that they're not ready to make available because they haven't taught them. So it will differ by class. And then backpacks, the way to get there is to just go to clever.sfusd.edu or just Google SFUSD Digital Backpack, and it'll take you to their login screen there. So if your child is in grades 3 and up, it's actually quite easy for them to access Clever. They just, as I mentioned, type clever.sfusd.edu and then select log in with Google. And then they type their district email address and password, and they are good to go. But it's even easier if your student is in grades pre-kinder through 2nd, because they use a badge to log in. So let me show you how that works. I'll just play this little video of what I believe is a San Francisco school district student, in fact. Here we go. It's really that easy. The student simply opens the Chromebook, the camera turns on, they put the badge in front of the camera, and they're in. Well, once a student has logged in, here's what they see. If they have more than one teacher, they'll see a page for each of the teachers that they have. And then the teacher page will include materials and links and even maybe videos or other information that the teacher wants made available to the students. On the Clever page, you'll find SFUSD essential apps like Seesaw and Google Classroom. And then you'll find other apps from the digital backpack that the teacher has made available. Uh-oh, what happens if you lose your student's login information or their Clever badge? Well, all is not lost. Either go to clever.sfusd.edu and then just click on Get Help Logging In. Or, and by the way, if your student, if the camera doesn't automatically turn on for Clever, they just click that button on this Clever. It'll ask if Clever can use the camera. You'll say yes, and then you'll be able to log in. But another place to find your login information is in ParentVUE. There it is again, ParentVUE. So for Clever Badge, you just find it where it says Other Documents and click on that, and you'll actually see the Clever Badge. And there's a place to go for your students' login information as well if they are in grades 3 and up and do not use a Clever badge. So again, this is my ongoing commercial for the Student and Family Resource link. If you need more help or get stuck, please visit the family link. If you cannot remember that, just Google the words SFUSD Student and Family Resource link. And if families call between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m., they can actually speak to a live person. And if there's a long line, you may go to voicemail and leave a message, but then someone will call you back. So let's see if there are questions. I do not see any in the chat. And I will stop sharing my screen a second and ask Eugenio if there's anything from the Spanish side.
No, we don't have any question right now.
Okay, very good. I will start sharing again. Eugenio and Tiana, how is my internet today? Last time I presented, it was getting frozen every so often. Is it doing better this time?
It's fine for me. You never froze.
Okay.
Yeah, it is good. It's pretty good right now.
Good. I guess it helps that I restarted everything just before the webinar. I'll do that more often. Okay, now we're going to learn about Seesaw. And if your student is in grades pre-kinder through second, they very well may be using Seesaw every day in distance learning, because Seesaw is what's called a learning management system. It's available to all students, but mostly teachers use it in pre-K through 2. And in it, teachers can post lesson materials, assignments, videos, announcements, other information. And then using the Seesaw class app, students can open and do assignments. They can capture and upload audio and video. They can add to their journal. They can even comment on each other's work if the teacher has made that feature turned on. And then parents can get a Seesaw family app, and they can actually see and comment on their own child's work, and also receive and send messages from the teacher to the teacher. My real hope is that once we are back in actual classrooms again and we're done with this pandemic, that families continue to use Seesaw. It's such a great tool. And if you are a parent who is on Seesaw Family, your kindergartner might make a picture at 10 a.m. in the morning and then upload it to the Seesaw app, because it's that easy. And then you'll get this notification on your phone. You'll open it up and you'll see that picture that your child just did. It's really exciting. You don't have to wait till the end of the day or till the work goes home a couple weeks later to hear about it. So I'm going to show you a very quick video of that my colleague Zareen made of how to get started with Seesaw. Again, I think you'll find it's quite easy to use. So let me be quiet and let Zareen do the talking.
Welcome to Getting Started with Seesaw. Seesaw is a great tool for your students to be able to share their work with their teacher and classmates. In order to start with Seesaw, you'll open your Chromebook and log in with your badge, and then you'll come to the Clever page. From here, you'll find the Seesaw icon and click on it. If you're opening Seesaw from another device, you'll go to the website clever.sfusd.edu, and then you'll log in with your Clever badge. Or you can also log in with your Google student username and password, which you can get from your teacher or access directly in ParentVUE. Next, after clicking on Seesaw, you'll need to choose your student account the first time you log in. Then you can continue into Seesaw. You'll land on this page, which is the Journal page. There's also the Activities tab, which is where the teacher will post assignments, and the Inbox, which can have messages from your teacher. In order to respond to an activity from your teacher, you'll click on the green Add Response button. From there, you'll be able to choose how to respond. You can use photos, drawings, videos, or other options. If you have additional questions, please visit the Family link at familylink.sfusd.edu or email your request to familylink@sfusd.edu or call 415-340-1716. Thank you.
Okay, well, that's how easy it is to use Seesaw. And how do you see your child's work on Seesaw Family? Well, your teacher will send you a QR code. They might email it. They might send it on a piece of paper. They also might send you just a simple join code, which is some letters and numbers. And then you go find the Seesaw Family app on your smartphone's application store, download it, click the blue button there where it says create a family account, and then click on this blue button that says tab to scan the QR code. Or again, if you have a code that they gave you that's some number and letters, there'll be a way to enter that as well. Well, once you're in, how do you find out more? You can just explore. You're not going to break it, so just take a look around. You could also go to our SFUSD Family Technology video tutorials page. This is another page that's just absolutely worth bookmarking. And all you have to do is, once you're there, in fact, here's a link to tonight's webinar. You'll find all of these different videos that are by technology tool or topic. And then you'll find the videos listed by home language as well. So this is a great page to get to know. And you can just Google the words SFUSD Family Technology Videos, for example. Or come on back to webinar number 3. We're actually going to dive into the apps and show you the key features of all of the apps you've seen today, including Seesaw. So I do not see any questions in the YouTube chat. We have a couple more people that have joined us. Thank you for joining us. But we don't have any in the stream of the chat, and I will stop sharing my camera for a second so I can ask Eugenio if he has seen anything on his side.
No, I don't have any question right now from the Spanish side.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Eugenio. So I am in fact going to stop sharing my screen altogether because it is now Tiana's turn to tell you how to get to Google Suite.
Yes, and so Google Suites is kind of half of the meat and potatoes of distance learning. All educators in SFUSD use Google for about 90% of what we do. Our email is through Google, our calendars are through Google, we save our documents on the Google Drive, and we create documents in Google Docs, and all of our spreadsheets are in Google Sheets, and our presentations are in Google, and including this presentation, we're using Google Slides, and all of the information that we collect it through Google Forms. And so and another meat and potatoes is, or another part of the meat and potatoes is Google Classroom that I'm sure your students are using a lot. At my school, all teachers have a Google Classroom, and also all of the counselors have a Google Classroom, and the administrators have a Google Classroom for the teachers as well. And so we are very heavily connected with Google Suites. And so in regards to the resources, the resources for the families that we have for Google Suites is, of course, you can go to sfusd.edu and get more information. But what I do want to explain and express to everyone is that Google and San Francisco Unified have a contract, and this contract is called a Memorandum of Understanding, or an MOU for short. And what that means is that the information that is shared on Google is protected. And so that means that that when students sign in to their email address and they submit a paper on Classroom, or they like, for example, for us, excuse me, for us in the counseling department, we are collecting a lot of information from the students, and this is sensitive information that does require a signature. So when the students log in with their Department of Technology issued password, they actually can sign paperwork electronically because they are using their own email password, and that is identifying them as that student, or is validating them as that student. And so so through this distance learning, it has been very instrumental to have this MOU with Google and to use all of these Google Suites software programs. And and another big software program that students use all of the time is Google Meet. So this is the Google version of Zoom, which means that it is on the Google platform, and it is a way for students to attend class. It is a video conferencing software program where students log in with their San Francisco Unified information, and then they are able to attend class that way. And so we do want to just quickly show you what this does look like on a laptop. And so this example is a San Francisco laptop, but it does pretty much look like this on any laptop. Oops. There we go.
And then just to clarify, Tiana, this is in particular a Chromebook, which about 25,000 SFUSD students are using right now. If you're using an actual laptop, which has more than just Chrome running on it, they would need to open up Google Chrome first, and then they can log in.
Yes, on this laptop, since it is a San Francisco Unified Chromebook, you are right. The students do have to log in with their San Francisco Unified information, and then they will get this screen. Or if they have, general PC or a Mac, then they do go to their, usually to their Gmail, or they can, as you said, just go into Google Chrome, put in their email address and their password. And then it will look a little bit different, but they will have access to this software. And so what these important icons are is this is the web browser. And that is, just how we say Google something or search for something. That is what the students will choose or will click on when they need to go to a web browser. And then right over here, this multicolored triangle is Google Docs. And that is where all of the documents are saved. And so that is everything from a Google Doc to a Google Sheet to anything that the student does work on, that is right here. And then another big one is email. And so we do, like, at least at the high school level, we do ask our students to check their email at least once a day. And that's very, very, very minimal. For our juniors and seniors, we do request that they check it multiple times a day. But we have this for email, and we do ask that our students do check it multiple times a day. And let's get started with the video. And so that was very quick, but what that did show was once you are on the San Francisco Chromebook, you can just select this arrow, and then you will see all of the Google Suites applications. And as Steve said earlier, if you're on another device, you can just go to google.com and log in with the student email and password, and then you will be able to, or the student will be able to have access to all of this information. And so are there any questions in regards to that?
Thank you, Tana. There are no questions in the chat right now. Just a reminder, if you're joining us by YouTube, that you can type your questions right there in the chat, and we'll do our best to answer them. How about you, Eugenio?
No, I don't have any question from the Spanish room.
Okay, and so let's continue. And Zoom. Zoom is like Steve said earlier, Zoom is very important and very crucial in regards to distance learning, as this is what most of our teachers do use to use as a platform for how they have their classrooms. And it is a video conferencing platform, and our students have received the links to all of their classes and their passwords. And what those students do is they go onto a browser, and then they type in that link and type in that meeting ID, and then they are able to go to class. And so let's look to see what that looks like. And so the first step that students do is they open up their web browser, which is Google Chrome, and then they log in with their information that they did get from the Department of Technology. So their email address and their Department of Technology password. And then they type in sfusd.zoom.com/meeting. And then they are going to see their screen is going to look something like this. And then this is when they are able to go and type in their meeting ID. So they can do it this way. They can also, like at my school, for example, none of our students do it this way. They actually have a schedule where it has a link to each class that they are already enrolled in. And so they just go to that schedule each and every day, and they just click on that link. Or another thing that the students can do is their email. Their teachers have emailed them the link and the password, and so they can go into class that way. There actually are a lot of different ways. Another thing that the students do is that they can go to their Google calendars for if and when they have put in their class schedule. They can just go to the Google Calendar and then just go to their class schedule, and where it says location, they can click on that link, and that will take them to class. I already talked about their email. For the younger students, where they can go on to Clever, and then in their Seesaw, they can go onto Clever and then see where the link is. And then also in Google Classroom, they can go onto Google Classroom and click on the classroom that they are going to join, and then the link is there as well. So there are a lot of different places for the students to go to find the Zoom link.
And Ken, I wonder if I could just mention, folks have, like, everyone has their own special way that they like to try to get into Zoom. Some people will open up the Zoom app. Some people will, do lots of other things. But what we found is that a lot of those ways work sometimes and not others. And so if you use the way that Tiana showed in the previous slide, where you type in that web address, well, first you open up your Chrome browser, make sure you're logged in to Google on your Chrome browser. Then you type in that email address, that web address, sfusd.edu/ there it is, /meeting, or sfusd.com/meeting. They both work, actually. Then you get to that meeting page, and you're done with that page at that point. We just leave it open as a tab on your browser, but then you can go find that link that Tiana was saying could be in lots of places. It really depends on how teachers share it. And the link looks like Tiana has an example of it there under number 5. Wherever your teacher has shared that, just click on that. And once you've opened that tab that we just looked at, that's like the magic key that will make the link work every time. So that's good to know. If you're not having success logging into Zoom, try these steps and I bet it'll work for you. Thanks, Tiana.
Mm-hmm. And then we just have this this really nice resource over here. This was sent out in the Family Digest. And it does have a lot of just quick tips for you. And so feel free to just go to sfusd.edu and look for the Family Digest, and then you'll be able to see the information. And so these are like nice little quick tips in regards to logging into Zoom, making sure that your microphone is working correctly, where to report hotspot issues or Chromebook issues, and then also a guide on Zoom troubleshooting. And so if at all, if you ever get stuck, just rest assured that we are having more resources that are going to be coming out. You can look it up on Google, or as they say, Google it. And also, yet again, you can go to the Family Link. And so that is either going to the website at familylink.sfusd.edu to submit that ticket request, or you can go email familylink@sfusd.edu, or lastly, you can go speak to someone any weekday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. by calling 415-340-1716. And also, we do have our one-on-one tutors that will help with not only with Zoom, but with Google Meet, and for all of our G Suites and all of our technology. And so, again, there is help in 20 different languages, and you can sign up for a 30-minute appointment session. And so, again, that link is bit.ly/SF Tech Tutors. And so when you just go there, you are just going to be able to read about some more information, but most importantly, clicking on this link so that you can go in and submit your information, and the technology team will be able to receive it, and you will be able to schedule an appointment, because this says schedule. So you just go to OK and then input your information. But we are just not going to do that right now. Okay, and just as a summary, we have resources and answers to just about all of your questions over here at the Tech Resources for Family page. And so in going there, you will see information about our webinars right here in the main section. And then also, if you have any other questions, or you just want to look and learn and explore, then you can go and look at our kind of like the table of contents, which is over here on the left-hand side. So there's information about the approved digital tools and apps for SFUSD students. A really big one is our Community Hub resources. That is something that is even the most relatively new. So this is a good resource to use. But going back to what we're talking about now, we have the link to the family technology tutorial videos, which Steve mentioned earlier, and also the link to these family webinars, and then more information. And so, so this is a good table of contents of resources for you to look through, and to to just get more information. And so, are there any questions?
There are no questions from the Spanish side.
And no questions in the chat as well. I guess if you can stop sharing your screen,
Okay.
Tiana, so we can just thank everyone together for joining us tonight. And thank those who are watching the recording later. We actually get the most viewers later by watching the recordings. So we thank you so much for your time. Please call the Family Link if you have any more questions. They're here to help. And it's been our pleasure being with you this evening. Thank you so much, everyone. Tiana, thank you so much. Eugenio, you're wonderful. We are very happy to have both of you with us tonight.
Yes, thank you, Steve. Thank you, Eugenio. And thank you everyone for coming.
Okay, goodbye, everyone.
Okay, bye. Have a beautiful evening.
Probably on webinar 3.